Hey everybody, Brandon Shane here with the Profit Cleaners, and today I'm going to show you guys some quick pros and cons. We've been using a home cleaning service called Spruce here in Fort Worth, Texas, and I just wanted to go over with you guys kind of our experience with Spruce, kind of the pros and cons of using the services, as how it relates to home cleaning, and kind of an interesting contrast in comparison to what we're normally used to with our home cleaning services. Got the dogs fighting over here too. But it's gonna be a cool little video. I wanna just record for you guys real quick as I walk through. So we actually just got back home. The cleaners from Spruce just finished cleaning our place. So I'm gonna kind of walk through the apartment with you. We're actually getting ready to get a brand new house built out here in Fort Worth. So this is our place for now that we're hanging out. And so we don't know any cleaning services out here. We're trying one of these service apps. There's a lot of them like Tackle or Handy or Thumbtack, things like that. This one's actually called Spruce, and it's more of like an aggregator service. So they find the service people for you. You kind of tell them what they want. So I just wanted to kind of go through some of the pros and cons, and we'll go through that. So let's start with the pros. All right, so pros. The app is really nice, easy scheduling. It was really nice. You could like pick and choose what you want on the app. If you want them to do things like dishes or extra stuff throughout the house, wash your windows, things like that. Of course, it does add to the cost. So we have like about 1,300 square feet in this place. On average, the cost is about $140, I believe, plus tax. We don't really have them doing too much extra. So that kind of gives you a ballpark price point. It's almost always a two-person team we've noticed that comes. So two people cleaning. We actually normally do, with our cleaning business in Albuquerque, we normally have a three-person team. So anyways, the app is really nice. Flexible scheduling is nice. They kind of let you pick your days. I don't know if it's always available on the days that you want, but
pretty much always is. Like any day you want to change it, like if you're scheduled on Friday and they want you, like you want them to come on Tuesday that week, it's pretty easy to get them to switch and get the time that you want.
That's Julie for you, my beautiful wife. So flexible schedule. They do have add-on services that you can schedule right on through the app. So probably, again, one of the biggest pros is their app is really nice. Their interface is really easy to use. And yeah, you can add that on through the app. Now, for the cons.
So wait, tell them what the services are that they can add on with the pros.
I don't know all the services they can add on.
So a lot of the services that you can add on with the pros of that is like, do you want them to clean the inside of your windows? Do you want them to do your dishes? They can fold your laundry and start a little laundry. So there's all of these like little they'll water your plants. So like there's a lot of like kind of random things that you can add on that clean. That I guess could be convenient if you were like needing that.
Yeah, and sometimes that's interesting because we don't normally do that with our home cleaning service in Albuquerque. We never do dishes or we never do laundry, things like that, just because there's more variables, there's more breakage involved. But
do your teams know how to water plants?
And do they know how to water plants? Do you really want them watering people's plants? I don't know. But one thing I definitely noticed they didn't do, and they have never done in this house, is high dusting. Like they've never ever gotten the cobwebs up here or the ceiling fans or anything like that I can tell. Or the baseboards. Our baseboards get pretty dirty down here with the dogs and stuff, and I don't really ever see that get wiped, so that's kind of gross. So there's a lot of holes in their services, just that being said, and I don't even know if that's something you can select in the app, but that isn't some of the app. Yeah, it's not. So when we normally do our home cleaning services, that's something we do every time. It's like some people call it a deep clean every time, but it's something you probably should be thinking about doing to create a better experience for people. But it's they've definitely missed those things. It's different people all the time. Like literally almost every single time that they've come, it's a different set of people. So again, they're just aggregating and kind of crowdsourcing the people that come to clean the apartment.
And sometimes they wear like a spruce apron, but sometimes they don't. So I mean, you would expect the person coming to your door to clean with cleaning supplies as the cleaner, right? But it doesn't always have a lot of trust.
Yeah, and something even more strange on that note is they have they normally do tell you, like in the beginning, we've been using them for months now. In the beginning, they would tell us when they would come. We would get a little text message on the way, which is a great little feature to add. But recently, the last few cleans, we don't get any text message. They just show up randomly. And a lot of times they're supposed to show up in the afternoon. They've been showing up at like 11 o'clock or 12 o'clock because they say it's more convenient. And then we'll actually get a text message like several hours later in the afternoon that says, your team just arrived, Louisa, and we're like, wait a second, they arrived like 3 hours ago. And then it'll say like, you know, a few hours later, now the team's just done. So we're like, wait a second, was the team actually there for 5 hours? Like, probably not. So that's kind of weird. Maybe they're gaming the system so they can get off early on Fridays. That's normally when we have our house cleaned. So notice that, different people all the time. You can't, you know, call a company. There's no one company that manages these teams. It's just, you have to go through Spruce, through the app to message them. And then there's a pretty long delay and then they'll get back to you. But it's basically, you're talking to a middleman the whole time, right?
Yeah, they don't know their team members at all.
Right.
They're not looking at the supplies they're using at all.
Yeah, so there's really like a lot less quality control because, again, they're just hiring like contractors on the fly. They don't know who these people are. Maybe they vetted them some other ways. I have no idea. But they're different people every time. I don't know if they know what kind of equipment they're using or what kind of condition that's in. So there's that. It's kind of unreliable start and finish times. Like I mentioned, they tell us they're going to start in the afternoon, but they'll get here in the morning sometimes, which is super inconvenient.
So we've had them come, like, the fastest clean was 45 minutes.
45 minutes?
And the longest clean was 5 hours.
5 hours.
So you don't really know
super unreliable.
it's gonna take.
Yeah, you have no idea what's going on.
And it doesn't ever seem like it's ever like more clean or less clean, so.
Yeah, and we already mentioned the standard cleans. They don't get baseboards and cobwebs and things like that. It does have kind of a strong smell of chemicals when you walk into the house, which we have a green cleaning company in Albuquerque, and that's what we love about having that with kids, is you don't have bleach and harsh chemicals all over the place and that smell. You do have that with Spruce when you have these cleaners, so that's not a huge plus. And yeah, just the other thing is there's not a whole lot of trust because, again, there's different people every time. There's been 2 separate occasions where they've just completely left our door unlocked. When they left, we came home and luckily we weren't out of town or something, but that could have been a really bad scenario.
It was actually unlocked today.
Was it unlocked today? So 3 different occasions that they don't lock our door when they leave. So seems crazy. You'd think they would lock a door when they leave. But anyway, so just wanted to recap some of those things with you guys. That's been our experience with Spruce. Overall, it's obviously nice to have your house cleaned, but kind of a lot of issues there, as you can see, and a lot of things I think you, if you have your own home cleaning business, have a lot more control over that stuff, and you can actually create a much better experience for people if you're able to control things like what kind of products are going in the house every time, what teams are there, and you know who's in the house when. You have keys to their house and you know they're locking the house, kind of thing. You know who's responsible for being in those houses. So there's so many things that I think being your own, having your own teams and having that extra level of quality control is really nice. But anyways, guys, there's the report on Spruce. Wanted to kind of give you guys an insider look on what it's like using one of those crowdsourcing platforms if you're actually on the other side of it. So here's another kind of idea and tip, guys. If you are a cleaner and you're looking to get a bunch of business, this actually might be a really cool idea. We're actually thinking that we're in this big apartment building, and if you wanted to get a bunch of clients all in one spot, you could possibly be using an app like Spruce or one of these places, or even just develop, a very targeted building that you could target and get 10 or 20 new customers like almost immediately. If maybe you could even work out a deal with the apartment complex. And so that's what actually Spruce did. And when we very first moved in here, they sent a message and they had like a promotional code for new people moving into the apartment here, that you could use Spruce and you got like 50 or 100 bucks off your first clean. And so that's what we did. And so if you're able to find a really great up and coming apartment complex in your community that you're like, I would love to service people in these apartments, because they're all the same model floor plan, so you could kind of get some efficiencies there. You don't have to be driving all over the place, and you could stay have your teams be in one spot and clean 5 or 6 places all in one day even. So that's something that if you're a cleaner already, definitely think about that idea and maybe a way to grow your business if you wanted to do that. Find a way to work up some program that you could work with the management at the property complex and the property managers, so that offer some incentive, and be like, hey, instead of using one of these third-party apps or having people come in the building that nobody knows, we want to become the trusted cleaner for the apartment complex. And that way you build and establish that rapport and that trust with the company, and then put your branding all through the building on like the boards in the building and the community areas and things like that. And that would be a really great way to build up a big client list of people pretty quickly, actually, in a small, residential apartment complex or something like that. Obviously, places like Spruce are doing it. So if you have a local cleaning business, think about doing something like that as well. And just a kind of an interesting market you could capture. There's lots of apartment complexes in most cities. So just an idea there, guys. So hopefully that helps, and hopefully you guys enjoyed all the information on Spruce. Again, this is very similar to a tackle, a handy, thumbtack, things like that. So definitely check out these apps, guys. See how you can get on these types of platforms to generate leads, new cleaning jobs. We even had the cleaning lady here who saw other people. She actually works for the whole apartment complex, and she was like, "Hey, I see you're getting your house cleaned. Like, I'll come clean your house for less." So you could even kind of snipe off leads from these bigger sources, and maybe just make them your customers later. I don't know, but lots of ideas, guys. Hopefully you found this video helpful. Like and subscribe, leave a comment if you have any questions, and we'll catch you guys on the other side. Keep it clean.